Live is on. We are live. Are we live on Facebook? Is Facebook active? We are active on Facebook. If you are watching this on Facebook, go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know where you are checking in from. If you are live on Instagram, leave a comment. Let me know where you're checking in from. Let me know your location. You are checking in live on Instagram. And I am going to get my pinned comment up here. We got some important things that we need to talk about here today because I'm noticing some nonsense in the game that needs to be cleared up. And I want to help you all out. You know, I am here to give people the game. That's why this thing is called Work on Your Game. I'm here to give people the game. The game might make you a little bit uncomfortable at sometimes, but the whole point of me giving you the game is that I want your game to be where it's supposed to be so you can get the outcomes that you want to get. So as y'all coming in here, shout yourselves out in the comment section. Tell me where you're checking in from. We're going to get into this momentarily. Hope everybody's having a great. This is, oh shit, I'm not, Facebook wasn't active. Are we active, Facebook? Wait a minute. Facebook, can y'all hear me? Make sure my sound is right on Facebook. I think my sound was off. All right, I think my sound's on now. So if you're on Facebook, comment. If you're watching on Facebook, let me know you can hear me. Make sure that sound is on. Instagram, is my sound on? Y'all can hear me okay? I think we're good on Instagram. And we're going to get into this. Again, I want to give y'all the game as I told you I was going to, as I talked about in my, we got Albuquerque, New Mexico, checking in on Facebook. What's going on? Albuquerque, who is that? Michael, shout out to you. And as I told y'all, we're going to get into this game. I talked about this on the reel that I posted earlier today. If you're watching this live, I posted this reel earlier today on Facebook and Instagram. If you're watching this on replay, don't worry, because I'm going to go into more depth and detail in this live than I did in my reel. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Dre Baldwin. I'm a former 9-year pro athlete. I'm the author of 33 books. I've done 4 TED Talks. I created this whole brand and framework called Work on Your Game, where we translate all the stuff that, all the tools and the strategies that athletes use to get to the top 1% in sports. And what we do is translate this stuff from the sports world to the business world to help professionals like yourselves do 3 specific things. Number 1, perform at a higher level. Number 2, be more consistent. Number 3, make more money. So what we're going to do here today is talk about the business side of things. And I'm going to give you all a very simple business layout to clear up the confusion that a lot of people have about starting a business and running a business. We're going to talk about the most important things that you need to start and run and maintain a business. They are not confusing. They are not, I won't even say that they're easy to do. They are simple to understand. Let's put it that way. Now, how you do it, there's a lot of different ways you can do these things, but the understanding of exactly what you need to do, I'm going to make it really, really simple. So simple that what's the name of that TV show? A 5th grader can do it. What's the name of that show? A 5th grader can get it. Are you smarter than a 5th grader? Something like that. Whatever that show is called, we're going to make it that simple. Okay, that's what we're going to do here today when it comes to business. One of the things that I want y'all to understand as a background to what I'm going to talk about with entrepreneurship is that many people these days are looking to get into entrepreneurship. A lot of people want to be entrepreneurs, whether you're working at a full-time gig already, and maybe you just get tired of the full-time gig. You want to be your own boss. Maybe you're looking at the unlimited income potential of being an entrepreneur. Maybe you just see a lot of entrepreneurs out there and it looks like their lifestyle may be more fun or more enjoyable, or they have more freedom than your current lifestyle. For whatever reason, you are interested in being an entrepreneur. I'm not here to discourage you from getting into entrepreneurship, but I do want to make sure everyone here is clear on what exactly you need in place if you're going to be successful as an entrepreneur. And by successful, I do not mean my personal opinion. By successful, I mean you are doing the main thing that a business is designed to do, which is generate value for its shareholders. That is a business's mandate. Everybody clear on that? The mandate of a business is to generate value for the shareholders. What does that mean? For those of you not familiar with those terms, that means make money for the people who own the business. All right, is that simple enough? Everybody got that? When you own a business, the job of the business itself is an entity. Okay, so if you work at Apple, Apple itself is an entity. The people who work there. But the Apple itself, the company, is a business. So, an entity rather. You are an entity. The business is an entity. So if you own a business, your business is an entity and you are an entity, even if it's just you. Okay. Your job as the person who calls connection on Instagram. All right, now we back. Your job, if you own a business as a solopreneur, even if it's just you, is to generate revenue. That is your job. Okay. That is not a preference. That is not a Dre Baldwin thing. That is your job as a business owner, is to generate revenue. If you have a business partner, it is both of yours job to generate revenue. If you go public and you sell shares of your company, some people call this, or many of you may know this as the stock market. All that is when a company decides to allow people like myself and yourself to buy into the company so we can be partial owners. That's all the stock market is. Okay. So I'm simplifying these things for you. And I'm going to explain to you why I like to simplify things to make it clear for people, because this is literally what I do. You know, I'm a systems and strategy guy. I make things really clear for people. And this is one of the things that I do as a coach. Is if you are, let's say you're a publicly traded company, right? Raquel, appreciate the badge. The purpose of you putting your company out there publicly, whether you hold it privately, the only job is to generate revenue. That's it. That is your job, generate revenue. Now, how you choose to do that, you have a million options, but that is your job, to generate revenue. And here's the part that I want you all to understand, whether you want to get into business ownership or not, whether you are a seasoned business owner, if you got a company that's been around for 20 years, or you're brand new and your company just started 2 days ago, or maybe you're just listening because you just want to hear what I want to say. And maybe this topic is not even something you're specifically going to do. You just want to hear what I want to say about it. Clarity. Everybody knows what the word clarity means. Clarity is a key element of success. Successful people operate with high levels of clarity. I don't care what they're doing. It could be a business owner like we're talking about here today. It can be an athlete. It can be, I don't care if you could be a relationship coach. You can be what's going on, Ivan over there from Russia. You could be a Pilates instructor like Ivan. You could be a singer like Raquel. It doesn't matter. Whatever it is that you're doing, you need to operate with extreme clarity on exactly what you are doing, how you are doing it, who you are serving, and how you know you're successful. You need to be clear on these. They should be so clear that if you had a 10-year-old son or daughter and your son or your daughter said, "Mommy, Daddy, can you explain to me how you do business and how you know you're successful? What exactly do you do?" You should be able to go to your son's or daughter's 10-year-old classroom. What grade is a 10-year-old? 5th grade, 4th grade? You should be able to go to that 5th grade or 4th grade classroom and tell those 10-year-olds exactly what you do, how you do it, what makes it successful, and who exactly you're serving, and they should understand it. If it goes over a 10-year-old's head, then you don't have clarity. It needs to be really, really clear. So what I'm going to do here today is I'm going to make it really, really clear for everybody exactly what you need to start, run, and sustain a business. Now, again, how you choose to do these things is up to you. And you can get different information, different help from different people on how to do these things. But the what, I'm going to give you the what. 1, 2, 3, the things that you need to be doing. I'm also going to tell you what not to do. I'm going to tell you some things that I've been hearing way too many people talk about that are incorrect. They are inaccuracies. It's not even about being correct. It's about being accurate. They are inaccuracies that are causing a lot of confusion and slowing a bunch of people down and keeping people from getting to the outcomes that they want to get to. So let's get into it. Okay. And this is for all entrepreneurs, or any of you who is entrepreneurial minded, or you're thinking about maybe at some point in the future getting into entrepreneurship. Here's what you need to understand. And this is coming straight from the reel that I posted earlier today. It was 90 seconds. Today we're going to go a little bit longer than 90 seconds. Let's talk about it. Number one thing you need to start and run a business is a paying customer, period. And I'm pausing on that one because I want that one to sink in. If you want to be in business, I don't care what your business is. I don't care if you are a prostitute or a gigolo, if you are a drug dealer, if you if you're a street drug dealer, if you're a no over-the-counter, no above-the-board drug dealer. If you are if you're a person who does live events for professional speaking, somebody like Aswan just came in here. If you teach people how to do Pilates, like I said, pointing out Ivan. If you're a singer, if you're an author, if you're what's another thing you could do? If you clean the pools, like when I go run outside, sometimes I see my man who one of the buildings that I used to live in here in Miami, he used to come and clean the pool early in the morning, and I would always be at the jacuzzi early in the morning, so we got to know each other. So sometimes I see him because he cleans like all the pools in the neighborhood. So when I run around, I see him sometimes. You clean pools for a living. Whatever it is that you do for a living, the only way that you are technically in business, officially in business, OnlyFans, yes, and that's another good one. Only way you're in business when you got customers. And see, this is what a platform like, and Raquel brought up OnlyFans connection. All right, we're back on Instagram. Here's a good thing about OnlyFans and many other platforms that are similar to them. Amazon is another one that does this well. Apple does it well as well. What they do is they remove all the confusion for you, and they set the platform up such that you can't do anything but exactly how they set it up. See, this is what OnlyFans does. Now, I don't have any experience with OnlyFans, but I've seen it, and I understand the gist of it well enough that you go on there, you create your account, you set the prices that people need to pay, and the only thing anybody can do on there is either pay the price or leave. They make it so simple. And because OnlyFans makes it so simple, they get to take a cut of your money. This is the same thing that you need to do in your business. Now, you could do this without OnlyFans. You would have to create the infrastructure yourself. They do it for you. Amazon does the same thing. Any of you has a book and your book's on Amazon, what do? Amazon makes it so simple. All you do is put the book up there. You describe what the book is, put your little pictures, upload your book. You set the price, and Amazon takes care of the rest. And because they provide the infrastructure for you, they get to take a cut of your money anytime that you make a sale. But what you need to notice about that is not that part, because we'll talk about that. It's a different conversation. OnlyFans, Amazon, Apple, many other platforms do this, is that they make it very simple such that the people who come and see your thing on their platform, they only have two options. One, give me money. Two, leave. Only two options you got. You go to Amazon.com, or you got the Amazon app on your phone, which most of us do. What options do you have? What can you do when you go on Amazon? What options do you have of what to do when you go to Amazon? You ain't got no options. Buy something or leave. That's it. Ain't nothing else to do. Only two things you can do on OnlyFans is sign up for somebody's OnlyFans or leave. Ain't nothing else to do. Now, I'm telling you all that to tell you this. This is not a sales pitch for OnlyFans or Amazon. It's for you to understand that the reason why these platforms have become so successful, and the same thing, and you can borrow what they're doing. You just have to understand the strategy. You got to understand the underlying, the ethos underneath it, not what they're doing, but the understanding of why they're doing it. Is they make it very simple for everyone to understand that you only have one thing you can do when you come here. Give me money or leave. That's it. You need to be looking at your business the exact same way. The number one thing you need to have a business is a paying customer or client. That's it. Nezzy Hare, yes, you got it right. All right, so everybody got lesson number one, okay? The number one thing you need to be in business is a paying customer or client, somebody to give you money. That's it. There is nothing else that you need to be in business. If you call yourself running a business and you are doing things like, and I talked about this on my reel earlier today, you have a logo. You went on Fiverr, you got yourself a logo, or God forbid, you went to Canva and designed your own logo. If you're not a graphic designer, do not do that. All right. Go to canva.com and block that website on your browser. If you're not a graphic designer, do not make your own graphics. I've seen some very poor monstrosities made by entrepreneurs who should not be doing graphic design. And you should be banned from doing graphic design. So if you got a logo, no matter who made it, you went to Canva, Raquel, I hope you're a graphic designer. Because if you're not, then I'm officially banning you from ever going to Canva ever again if you're not a graphic designer. I've seen way too many things that I don't want to see again from entrepreneurs who call themselves doing their own graphic design. Don't do that. Go to Fiverr.com, hire somebody in India, let them make your graphics. They'll probably be better than anything that many entrepreneurs have done out here. Anyway, you don't need a logo. You do not necessarily need a website. You don't need to secure all the social media handles on TikTok and YouTube and Twitter about your name, whatever it's called. You don't need an LLC. And what is this LLC thing? I don't know where this came from. Just over the last 6 months or so, every entrepreneur I talk to, people who are starting out, everybody's telling me about how they got an LLC. It's been so many. I don't know when this started. The LLC's been out forever. But I don't know when this became a thing that all of a sudden everybody thinks they need to go get an LLC for their business. All right, why do you need an LLC? Who told y'all that y'all need an LLC? You do not need an LLC, okay? Dre Baldwin, Work on Your Game Incorporated. I do have an LLC. Yes, we are officially incorporated. No, you do not need an LLC, Raquel. You do not need an LLC. What's the LLC going to do for you? Tell me how an LLC makes you money. Everybody remember, let's back up here, class. Okay. Let's back up. What's the number one thing you need to be in business? You need a paying customer. Tell me how an LLC gets you a paying customer. I'm taking a sip of water while I wait for somebody to tell me the answer to that question. If you can't tell me how doing thing X gets you a paying customer, then you need to question whether or not you need to be doing it. All right. I want you to use that framework for the rest of your life for as long as you are in business. If you are thinking about doing thing XYZ and you cannot tell me why doing XYZ is going to make you money, is going to get you a paying customer or client, then you may not need to do thing XYZ. Everybody got it? I just gave you that one for free. I could have charged you for what I just told you. All right, everybody hear what I just said? Let me say it one more time. I want to make sure you got it. I don't want anybody to be confused. Next time you're thinking about doing anything for your business, in or for your business, and you cannot tell yourself directly and with extreme clarity why doing this thing is going to get you a paying client or a paying customer, maybe you don't need to do it. If you don't know and you can't explain it to yourself, and you couldn't explain it to a 10-year-old, a fifth grader, then maybe you don't need to be doing it. Okay, and we'll get into that. I'm going to answer that question there, Rico. Why have an LLC? LLC is a limited liability corporation. It incorporates your business. It makes your business into, not on paper, you are a documented official business. With that, you can do things such as, okay, here's what you're going to understand. You can do things such as get a business bank account. You can get business credit. You can do things business-wise with an LLC that you couldn't do without an LLC. But I want you to understand something. We got to make sure we're understanding the difference between means and ends. Okay? So let me give you all a metaphor to explain this. My background is in basketball. I played professional basketball for 9 years. And some of you may know me from back in the days when I used to put basketball videos on YouTube. That's how I first got known on the internet. When I played basketball, all right, let me back up. Going into sports. Okay, when you play a game of sports, any of you who follow sports, what's the object of the game? I don't care what sport you're talking about. Tennis, swimming, track, basketball, football, baseball. What's the object of the game? Can anybody answer that question? What's the object of the game when you play sports? Can anybody answer the question? There's only one answer. There's only one right answer. It starts with the letter W. What is the object of the game? Okay, there we go. Raquel, you're the best student in the class. Win in the game. That's it. That's the object of the game, is to win the game. That's it. That's the only reason that you play a sport, is to win the game. So in basketball, for example, we do a lot of things. You look up basketball on YouTube these days, you see a bunch of people doing all kinds of stuff. You see people doing dribbling drills, shooting drills. We lift weights, we go run, we do cardio. You hire a personal trainer, you go copy this guy's move, you try to do the move like Kobe and try to do what Steph Curry did and copy all these moves and all this stuff. Listen. The only reason that we do moves in basketball, and the only reason that we practice moves, and the only reason we lift weights, and the only reason we hire trainers, and the only reason we go to a plant-based diet and all the other stuff you see athletes doing, the only reason we do any of that is to put ourselves in a better position to win the game. Everybody follow what I'm saying here? That's the only reason we do all of that stuff. We do all of that stuff to be in better position to win the game. So all of this stuff, the hyperbaric chambers and the massage guns and the personal trainers and the moves and the drills and the workouts and the practices, all of those are means to an end. The end is, I just got another pause connection. All right. So the end is winning the game. All of that stuff, all should direct to winning the game. If those things are not leading to winning, then you shouldn't be doing them. So now an LLC, what does an LLC do? So let's say I go get an LLC or you go get an LLC. Okay. I have an LLC. You go get an LLC, any one of you. Now with that LLC, you have an official business entity is documented. Now you can call a bank or you can go to the bank and you can start a business bank account because they're going to require that you have official documentation. You have an LLC and or an EIN, which is an employee identification number. That means you are officially registered with the United States government and they recognize your business as an entity. And that's also something that could protect you possibly in the future. If somebody decides to sue your business, they can only attack the business. They can't attack you personally. So if they sue you, they could take your house. They could take your car. They can take everything from you. They can garnish your paychecks. But if you have a business entity, they may only be able to sue the business and they can only attack the business, but not you personally. Most of us will never have that problem. I go get an LLC. I get a business bank account. Now I can tell people I got an LLC. I can put it up on my wall, LLC. All right. What is the purpose of doing that? All right, now I can go give me some business credit. What do I do with my business credit? Maybe I go run some ads on Facebook or Google. I run ads on Facebook or Google to do what? So people can see my stuff and my products. People see my stuff and my products. What are they going to do? Maybe they'll come to my website or to my OnlyFans or to my Amazon. Then what are they going to do? They're going to give me money. So then what do I have? A customer. Everybody following me here? Is everybody noticing? Everybody see the through line of what I just did? An LLC is simply a means to the end of doing the same thing I just told you on point number one. You need customers and clients. You don't need an LLC. You don't need, you don't need a logo. You You don't need a website. You don't need a social media handle. You need someone who is willing to give you money for your product or service. That's it. When you have that, you are in business. If you do not have a customer, you don't have a business. I don't care how many LLCs you got. You can go register 10 LLCs. You can own more than one business, right? You heard of people owning more than one business? All right, so think of some business person you know who owns a bunch of businesses. They probably got LLCs or S corps or C corporations. LLC is just one form of a corporation. So it's different ways that you can register a corporation. So you can have a whole bunch of different corporations that you own, businesses that you own. If they don't have customers, you are not in business. All right, you got something, but it ain't a business. And call it whatever you want to call it. Until you have customers, you have no business. What is business? Business is simply the exchange of resources between people. That's it. And one of those resources, usually, especially in America, usually one of those resources is money. There's some kind of exchange. So you see these books here behind me. I am in one way in the book industry, because I will sell you a book. I'll give you a book. You give me some money. All right, you give me the book. You give me the money. I give you the book. All right. But until that happens, I could go get an LLC for every one of these books. I got 33 books. I go register 33 LLCs right now if I wanted to. Now I got to pay for them. I go register 33 LLCs and I can show you the paperwork. But until I sell a book, I'm not in business. Everybody following me so far? We're still on point number 1. So Nezzy says, what if you are sued and have an LLC who pays the bill? Does it come back on the business owner? No, it goes to the entity. The LLC itself is an entity. A corporation is an entity itself, Nezzy, to answer your question. So Apple is a corporation. So let's say you go to the Apple store and you buy a phone and the iPhone blows up in your ear one day and burns half your face off. You sue Apple. You don't sue the people who work at Apple. You sue Apple itself. The corporation itself is an entity. Entity just means it's like a person, but the company becomes that person. So when you have an LLC, the LLC is an entity. So someone can sue the company, but they wouldn't sue you. So basically it protects you personally from damages that may be held against your company if your company gets sued or attacked, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm not saying an LLC is necessarily a bad thing. Yes, it protects you as a person in the case that you get sued. But here's the thing, folks. If you ain't got no customers, nobody's going to sue you because they didn't give you any money. What are they going to sue you for? They didn't give you nothing. What are they going to sue you for? They ain't got nothing to hold against you. You got to have customers to even be worried about getting sued. All right. So this is not a problem that most of you is ever going to have. And also, if you just have clear documentation of everything that you're doing, then you'll be protected against this stuff. So for example, I just joined a mastermind. I re-upped in a mastermind. I was already in it, but I went to the next level of mastermind a couple weeks ago. We got another pause connection. So I do the same thing. When somebody comes into a coaching program or something of mine, and any of you can do this, you can get this off the internet pretty much for free. You just put a disclaimer in things and you can have documentation. You can have contracts. If someone joins my coaching program, I send them a simple 2 or 3 page contract. It just says, look, you are not able to, and it says in the documentation, you can't sue us. All right. We are going to offer you insights. We're going to offer you strategies and information. But if you don't act on the things that we tell you and you don't get results, you can't come and sue us because you didn't get results, because you didn't act on what we told you to do, or anything that you are basically you are not allowed to sue us for anything that goes wrong in this process. When I used to sell basketball training programs, I put a disclaimer on my website that says, listen, this is a basketball training program. You're going to go to the court and practice basketball. You are not able to take us to court if you break your leg trying to do one of the moves that I explained to you in my program. You try to do the Kobe move and you break your ankle. You can't come sue me because I told you to try to do the Kobe move. You can put that documentation on your website, and if somebody tries to sue you, all you had to do is point to that documentation, show it to your lawyer, and it's over. That's thrown out. So again, many people, I'm not saying you all who is listening to me right now, but many people get so caught up in this, oh, what if this, what if this, what if that? And these things are never even going to happen. You don't need these. Okay. So this is what people need to understand. The number one thing you need to be in business is a paying customer or a paying client. If you don't have that, you are not in business. It's not a business if you don't have people giving you money. Everybody following me here so far? All right. So this LLC thing, again, I don't know when this became so popular. I don't know. I think LegalZoom, one of them companies, or maybe some lawyer out there, lawyer influencer who sells people LLC paperwork. I think they started running ads on this to get everybody excited about LLCs. So now everybody wants to get an LLC so they can get money. Listen, I ain't knocking their hustle, but I still got to give y'all the game. All right. You do not need an LLC. What you need is a customer. Okay. Okay, so an LLC also is something that can maybe in some ways like trademarks as well. That's another thing, a trademark. Some people talk about, oh, I need to get a trademark. I need to copyright my book. Who was it that was telling me that? I can't remember who it was. I think it was someone who was in one of my coaching programs a few months ago. Was talking about how they need to copyright their book. So they had finished writing a book and they were about to put their book out. And they were like, well, Dre, I need to get my book copyrighted. So I got all the paperwork to copyright the book. And I was talking to a lawyer and I'm going to send it. And you got to send all this documentation to Washington, D.C. And they do the copyright. And it takes like 3 months and they send it back to you. And you got an official copyright of your book. So nobody can copy the material in my book and all of that. Listen, that's all nonsense. Okay, remember what I told you earlier in this live, clarity. You need extreme clarity with how you are operating your business. Clarity. You do not need to copyright anything that you create on the internet. By the way, let me just be clear with everybody here. Anything you put on the internet is going to get copied at some point. Somebody's going to copy it. Somebody's going to try to take what you said and try to basically sell it off as their own. That's going to happen, guaranteed. I got more content on the internet, more free content on the internet than damn near anybody you can name. And a bunch of people have tried to copy some of the stuff that I've done or some of the stuff that I've put out. They can't copy it because they can't do it the way that I do it. They can't say it the way that I say it. Everything I'm talking about right here today, somebody's going to try to knock it off and copy it and try to say it in their own way. They're not going to be as good as me at it. They're going to try though. That's all right. I'm not calling a lawyer and like, hey, make sure nobody try to copy my stuff. Like, ideas they belong to the game. They don't belong to any individual person. It's your style, your approach. That's what makes you unique. It's not the idea or the material itself. So you don't need a trademark. You don't need an LLC. All of those are wastes of time and you putting money into something that has nothing to do with the bottom line, the most important thing you need in business. Everybody know the most important thing you need in business. All right, I don't need to say it again, do I? Customers and clients, just 2 C's, okay? Customers and clients. Those are people who are giving you money in exchange for your products and services. That puts you in business. And also, by the way, that's what keeps you in business. Jeremiah from Chicago, what's going on? That's also what keeps you in business. Customers and clients. Okay? So, Raquel said, I put no nudity on my OF so they can't say I fooled them prior to signing up. Well, I never seen anybody announce that they put nudity on their OnlyFans. They just say, if you want to see exclusive pictures of me. That's usually what I see people say. You want to go deeper, or you want exclusive pictures, or you want more of me. That's what I see in somebody's like bio and stuff like that. That's what it'll say. If you want more of me, go here. And then it goes to the link. And people know they're getting exclusive pictures. But if they don't want it, they can just unsubscribe. I mean, it's simple as that. So again, customers and clients, folks. And you think of a company like Amazon, what they do is they basically set it up so that they help you get the customers because they got the people and you have the material. You put the material out. They help you connect to the people. They basically just go, Amazon just goes a level higher. We'll help you get the customers. And because we helped you get the customer, we get a cut of every dollar that you make. So that's their business model. Apple does the same thing. If any of you's in the music industry or something like that, and you sell anything through Apple's platform, every time you make a sale, Apple gets a little bit and you get the rest. All right. They take a cut. OnlyFans does the exact same thing. So all these platforms, Instagram does it. They set you up to sell your stuff. And I don't know exactly how, Instagram does it, but I'm guaranteeing they take a cut. Take a cut of something. Facebook, advertising, they do the same thing. They take a cut. They get a cut, or you go sell whatever you want to sell, but you have to pay them in order to show your stuff to their people. So that's point number 1, customers and clients. All right, we'll move on to point number 2. Because I could talk about that. I could talk just on that all day, but I'm not going to. Number 2, we're talking simple business 101. Number 2, you need a process for continually getting in front of people who could possibly become customers and clients. Remember the first point, the initial point that I made when I started this live here. And again, those of you who are not familiar with me, or maybe you've been following me, but you never really heard me talk like this. Extreme clarity. If you want to create success in life, you must be extremely clear on what you are doing, how you are doing it, why, when, where, and with whom you are doing it. Clarity. You should not be confused as to how things are going. Again, think about, I don't know if any of you have kids. If you had a 5th grader, a 10-year-old child asking you, hey, come to school with me tomorrow, mommy or daddy, and explain to my class of 30 10-year-olds exactly what you do. If you couldn't explain it to a bunch of 10-year-olds in a way that they understand, you don't have clarity. It needs to be very, very clear exactly what you do, how you do it, and how it makes money. All right, very simple. So number one, you need customers. Number two, you need a process for continually getting in front of people who can become customers. A process for continually getting in front of people who could, at some point, become a customer. Guess what I'm doing right now? Some of you who are watching this have never bought anything from me. You never given me any money for anything. You know I sell things, but you never bought anything. But I'll keep doing these lives. I'll keep posting on IG. I mean, to watch anything that I put on IG is free. I don't charge for Instagram. I think Instagram has subscriptions now. I don't have an Instagram subscription. I'm not going to charge y'all for Instagram content. Stuff I put on here is free. My live streams are free. My posts are free. You get my daily motivation text free. What else I put on here? Reels free. YouTube videos free. Why do I put all this stuff out for free? Because I am putting my message and my name and my likeness and my materials and my ideas out there to people like you who at some point, this is the bet that I'm making, at some point, you're going to you're going to cross the threshold from, damn, I like Dre's stuff for free. You know what? I like his stuff so much, I'm going to go buy something. This is a strategic move. I'm not doing this just for my health. I'm not doing this because I like to hear my voice. I'm doing this because I'm trying to turn some of you from freeloaders to paying customers. That's the reason I do these lives. That's the reason I post a reel every day. That's the reason I post, the little quotes. That's the reason I do the stories, is that I'm trying to turn some of you from freeloaders to paying customers, and some of you who are already paying customers, I'm trying to keep you as paying customers. So I want to stay in front of you, because you might forget about me. If I stop posting, you might forget I exist, and you might go give your money to somebody else. So that's why I keep posting. Raquel said, we are your customers. Well, you are, not everybody. Not everybody. So, and you got to stay in front of people also, Raquel. The thing is, even after somebody gives you money, just as they gave you money once doesn't mean they'll give you money a second or third time. You got to make sure they remember you. Like, think about this. If you think, let's say somebody who last time you talked to them was 10 years ago, just called you on the phone right now. Somebody called you on the phone right now. Last time you talked to them was 10 years ago, and they say, hey, Raquel, this is XYZ person. And you're like, who? And you're like, oh, yeah, well, 10 years ago in 2013, we met at this place and we talked, and you'd be like, I don't remember who you are, and you hang up on them because you forgot about them, because they didn't stay in front of you, because they failed to stay in front of you. So understand, folks, that staying in front of your audience is your job. You got to do things to stay in front of people. It's not just getting in front of them one time. It's not just the first dollar. You want to get the second, third, fourth, fifth dollar. You got to stay in front of people and keep reminding them and reminding them and reminding them of what you're doing. I just had somebody, as a matter of fact, like 2 weeks ago, I had somebody come into my university, my coaching program. She first found out about me in 2016. And we had talked before. We had exchanged messages. We had talked on Zoom before, but she didn't join my program. She never joined my program until just now. This is 7 years later. And the reason that she joined my program is because I had sent out an email and said, hey, I'm offering some people to get on a call with me and talk about where you're at, what you're doing, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And this person who found out about me 7 years ago, at that moment when they saw that email, they just happened to be in the mindset connection here. All right, unpause connection. They just happened to get into the mindset, and they were in a position where they were like, oh, I'm ready to actually do something. I'm ready to get into a program. And I happened to offer a program at that moment. Now, let's say I had not sent that email out. Let's say I waited 6 months to send that email. I didn't send it till June. They wouldn't have been in that position anymore. So I would have missed my window. You understand? So this person knew about me a long time ago. I got 50,000 people on my email list. This person just happened to, at that moment, say, oh, you know what? I'm ready. And Dre just offered me an opportunity. Listen, had I not sent that email, they wouldn't have reached out to me and said, hey, Dre, I wonder if you got anything open right now. I had to reach out to them. I had to be proactively letting them know, hey, I'm here and I have this. Let's hop on a call. And because my timing matched with their situation, then we got an opportunity. Understand? This is your job, business owners. All you business owners who are listening to this is your job. This is what you got to be doing. This is a mindset. You got to be in the mindset of continually letting people know what you're doing, even when you might put something out and it doesn't get the kind of response that you want. You might put something out and maybe not a lot of people go buy it or take advantage of it or click on the link or whatever it is you want them to do. Your mindset is you got to stay in front of them, because look, how many of you, like, think about this. How many of you from 1 month to the next month are in a completely different situation when it comes to how you're thinking about what you want to invest in, what you want to spend your money on? How many of you may be in different situations from 1 month to the next month financially in terms of what you can invest in, depending on where you're at and what you're thinking about? Now, you might be in a situation in April. you're like, yo, I don't really have money to invest in anything, but in May you got money. So if somebody lets you know you got an opportunity, there's an opportunity in May, you'll buy it, but in April you couldn't buy it. But if they don't come to you in May and let you know, hey, I still got this thing, you might spend that money on something else, even though you had the money. But because they didn't remind you, you might go give that money to somebody else simply because they didn't stay in front of you. That is why your job as a salesperson is to stay in front of your audience and continually let them know what you have, what you're offering, what you're doing, so that when they are ready, which might not be when you want them to be ready, when they are ready, they can give you the money. But you got to stay in front of them. That is your job. So I think I got a couple questions here, and I'm going to finish on point number 2. Let me see. Nezzy says, clarity statement. I want to improve the hair health of the black community. Now, how are you going to do it, Nezzy? That's the question. How will you improve the hair health, and what's your definition of improving? Improve is a very relative term. So I could say I improved my hair health by shaving it off this morning, which I actually did. Now, is that what you're talking about? I doubt it. So we need more clarity than that. So Raquel says, where are your customers there? Appreciate that. Always Training said, will there be another live in Miami later in the year? No, I'm not going to do another event. It's going to be a minute before I do another event. But I will have other opportunities for you to give me money, if that's what you're asking. Because that's what I'm talking about here. So this second point, a process for continually identifying and communicating. Appreciate that badge, JT Coin Rings. JT, what's your actual name so I can shout you out by your name? Process for continually identifying and communicating with people who are willing to be giving you money. Okay, you need a process for this. There's another word for this process. Oh, you burn this onto your brain. It is called marketing. Marketing. Continually letting people know that you have something that they may want to pay money to get. That's called marketing. So to give you all an example, here where I live in Miami, right across the street from me, there's this big billboard space. And this billboard is it's probably like 150-foot billboard, 150 feet wide and probably 100 feet tall. Now, this is prime real estate for advertising for billboards. This billboard probably costs on a monthly basis. This billboard probably costs 5 figures every month, like $10,000 probably every month. This billboard space. Apple has that billboard. They've had that billboard space for probably a year now, and actually probably longer than that. It used to be, I remember back in the day, Smart Water had it, and they probably gave it up. Then Apple got it. And every month they just put a new thing up, and it's just all about the iPhone. So it'll be Johnson. I appreciate that badge. So they'll have, they've been advertising the iPhone a lot. So now what's the iPhone now? iPhone 14? I think it's the iPhone 14. So all they do is just put up different billboards for iPhone 14. Now, who here has never heard of the iPhone? Most of you have iPhones. So why is Apple, who already has all of us on iPhones, all of us have bought, look, how many of us then had the iPhone since the damn came out? Most of us had like 5 to 10 iPhones. So everybody got an iPhone. Apple makes the most money of any commercial company in the United States. They got billions of dollars in the bank. Everybody knows who they are. Why are they paying $10,000 and up a month for a billboard? And that's just one billboard. That's all the other billboards in Miami, Philadelphia, New York, LA, Houston, Texas, Chicago, Minneapolis, Omaha, Nebraska, Seattle. Why is Apple spending so much money on advertising when they already got all the customers and everybody already has their product? Why would they do that? Anybody got an answer to that question? Why is Apple spending so much money? You know that Apple spends like $1 million a day on advertising. Probably more than that. Nike, the same thing. Google, Amazon. These companies spend millions of dollars a day on advertising. Why would they spend that much money when they already have all the customers? Raquel says stay relevant, but they already got all the customers. I mean, you're already a customer. Why do they need to stay relevant? And relevant, that's another term that has gotten a lot of people confused these days. We'll talk about that in a second. That term, relevant. I don't like that term. I get what you're saying, though. The reason that these companies spend so much money on advertising and marketing is because they understand that just because you gave them money last year, it doesn't mean you're going to give them money again next year. That's why. They got to stay in front of you. They have to stay in front of you. And Always Training says every day you can get a new customer. Not just a new customer. You got to remember the old customers, the current customers. Just because I bought the last iPhone doesn't mean I'm going to buy the next iPhone. I got the iPhone 13. That's the last one I got. I got the 13. I didn't get the 14. I'll probably wait till the 15 comes out, get the 15. But you got to sell to the old customers, people who already know you. Again, you can't assume just because somebody gave you money last month, they're going to give you money again next month. You have to stay in front of people. Think about this. These devices right here, how many different messages do you get on these devices every single day? I'm talking about between your email, your social media, text messages, phone calls, the apps, whatever other apps that you use, the stuff that you send out, and the replies that you get back. How many different messages do you get from different people on a daily basis? You get tens of thousands of messages every day. Just because you gave Apple money last month does not mean you're going to be thinking about Apple next time you want to give somebody money. And if you as a business owner, all you business owners out here, if your brand is not as known as Apple's, there's no way anybody remembered you from last month. Everybody get what I'm saying here? Somebody buys one of these books from me, y'all may have seen my ads on Instagram. You buy this book right here from me. All right, so you saw this ad, you clicked on it, you bought a couple books, or you bought one book. I send you the book. What's the chances you're going to remember me 3 months from now? If you never heard of me before, the only reason you bought the book because you saw the ad, and at that moment you're like, all right, I'll get that book. You went and got the book. 3 months from now, you going to remember who I am? If you don't ever hear from me again, probably not. Next time you're ready to buy a book, you're not going to think of my book. I got 33 books. You got 32 more you didn't buy yet. Are you going to think of me if I don't do anything to stay in front of you? Of course not. You're going to forget that I exist. Apple understands this. And Apple, Amazon, Google, Nike, these are the biggest companies in America. They are relentless in marketing to you, even though they are the companies that probably won't be forgotten. So all of us who are out here on a daily basis, and we are not nearly as known as these companies, we got to be marketing the exact same way. We got to be thinking like they're thinking. Now, again, you might not have $1 million a year or $1 million a day to spend on advertising, but you got Instagram. All right. How much is it costing me to do this live? How much does it cost you to post to your feed on a consistent basis? How much does it cost you to sending emails costs money. Sending texts costs money. I spend a lot of money on I spend again. All right, there we go. I spend $1,000 a month on emails and text messages, sending emails and text messages. You got to pay to send that stuff out. But the ROI, again, staying in front of your audience, that's the most important thing. So this is called marketing. There are 3 ways to market. All right. Take note of this. This is a sub point of point number 2. 3 ways to market. Point number 2, 3 ways to market. Appreciate you, Raquel. Jay Johnson said brand recognition. Yes, you want your brand to be recognized, but the whole point of having a brand is you want to turn that brand into business. Okay, so the 3 ways to market. Number 1, advertising. And when I say number 1, I'm talking about how fast it can turn over. So if you want to make money really fast, the fastest way to do it is to advertise. That means to spend money to get seen. You pay to get seen, pay to play. If I wanted to make $1,000 like in the next 10 minutes, the fastest way to do it, if nobody knew who I was, if I didn't have any audience whatsoever, fastest way to do it is to put an ad on Facebook or Google and just put a whole bunch of money behind it. If I want to make $1,000 really quick, I'll put $10,000 into an ad. And in the next hour, I'll make $1,000. It don't matter what I'm selling. Put $10,000 in, I'll get $1,000 in an hour. That's the fastest way to make money, is to advertise. You pay to get attention. So Google charges people money to get attention. All right, this is the reason why Google is worth so much money, because of advertising. The reason why Facebook is worth so much money, because of advertising. 93% of Facebook's income, last time I looked, came from advertising, not from any of the other stuff that y'all know about. It comes from advertising. That's where their money comes from. So if you want to make a whole bunch of money fast, advertise. Now, I didn't say you were going to make a profit. I just said you'll make money. So this is why there are people who do ads for a living, because they help you put in $1 but get back $2. Now, you can put in $2 and get back $1. That's what I would do if I wanted to make money really fast without any kind of thinking, indiscriminately. I put $10,000 in an ad, I'll make $1,000 back. So I just lost $9,000, but I did make $1,000. All right, notice my wording here. All right, that's number 1, advertising. Number 2 way to market is collaboration. This is the key of what's happening right now. All right, any of you want to know what's going on right now in the world? This is the number 2 way of marketing, collaboration. This is where the money's at right now, collaboration. You don't have to have money to do this. See, many of you heard that advertising point. You're like, all right, yeah, I get it, but I ain't got a bunch of money to throw at advertising. Cool. Here's what you do. Collaborate. Collaboration. What am I doing right now? Some of you may understand this. I've talked about this before. I'm collaborating with Instagram right now and Facebook. I'm on Facebook and Instagram. I'm collaborating with Facebook and Instagram right now to do this live. Why? Because Instagram has how many users? 1 billion. Let's say they got 1 billion people that use this app every day. So how much content does Instagram create? Not much. I mean, I don't follow Instagram on Instagram. So you look at Instagram's IG page, they got some posts. They don't post that often. They ain't like they posting everything, right? Who makes all the content on Instagram? We do. We make all the content. They call it user-generated content. All Instagram does is provide a platform. Me and you create all the content, and then we get to engage with each other. So I'm collaborating with Instagram. Instagram has the people. I got the content. I put the content on Instagram. Instagram shows my stuff to other people, and now those people know me. That is a collaboration. Everybody follow what I'm saying here? It's the same thing on Facebook. It's the same thing on TikTok. It's the same thing on Twitter. It's the same thing on YouTube. We are collaborating. I create the material. They give me eyeballs. When I first got into business, some of you may notice if you've been following me long enough, but when I first got into business, I was playing ball, right? And I used to put all these basketball drills on YouTube, just dribbling, shooting, how to do these moves, how to do the Steph Curry move, how to dribble like Kyrie Irving, whatever. And I started creating training programs for basketball players, $4.99. That was my initial price point. This is 2009. That was my initial price point, $4.99. Here's a dribbling program, shooting program, post moves program, triple threat program. If you don't know basketball, doesn't even matter. These are just details of different things that I was teaching people how to do. All I would do is put a video on YouTube. Let's say I put a video on YouTube of how to dribble the basketball, right? Then I would say at the end of the video, if you like this video, click on the link down below in the description, go to my website, and you can buy the dribbling program for $4.99. That's all I did from 2009 to 2013. That's all I did in business. And we sold tens of thousands of programs doing that. And I'm not telling you that to impress you, but to impress upon you. All I was doing was collaborating with YouTube. YouTube had the people. I had the ideas. I had the material. And we just collaborated for years. Now, YouTube didn't know they were in on that collaboration. Then they changed their algorithm. So people like me couldn't keep doing that. And they made sure we start paying money to do that. But for those 4 or 5 year reign, I was able to do that without having to spend any money. I didn't run any ad campaigns. I couldn't have explained marketing to you back then. And I barely even had an email list. My email list was just people who are buying stuff from me. So everybody on my list was a customer, people who are giving me money. So it was a very valuable list. But that's all I did for like the first 4 or 5 years that I was in business. All I did was collaborate. So collaboration, I'm bringing that up to help you all explain. That's 10 years ago. I'm explaining to you right now. This is the wave right now. This is a trend. It's not a fad. It's a trend. Collaboration is the thing to do. Okay. So any of you wants to get known, you want more people to know you and get your name out there, and you got products that you want to sell. Let me tell you what not to do. Okay. What you shouldn't do is just post stuff in what we call in a vacuum and hope that it gets seen. And I hear from people all the time who tell me that they do this. And this is especially for those of you who are not very well known. Let's say you don't have a bunch of followers right now. So you post something on your feed on any platform where you don't have a lot of people who know you. And then you hope that somebody clicks on your link or buys something from you. And then that doesn't happen. And then you're like, well, I don't know what to do next. Don't do that. Okay. So if you've been doing that, stop doing that. Let me tell you what to do instead. Okay. Here's what you do instead. Go find somebody who already has an audience of people who are similar to who you want to sell your stuff to. And then what you need to do is use your communication skills and figure out how you can give that person, I'm talking about the person with the audience, how you can give something that they want so that they will open up their audience to see your stuff. That's a collaboration. So I'll give you an example. If you follow my stories, you may often see me. I do this often. I only got 15 minutes left on this live, so let me be quicker here. You'll often see that I appear on other people's podcasts. That's one of the ways that I collaborate. It's one of my favorite ways to collaborate is being on people's podcasts. There's only one way to collaborate. There's a bunch of ways to do it. Podcast is one. Do somebody's YouTube. You could do an Instagram live with somebody. People do lives and they have somebody else on their live with them. You can go to somebody and say, look, you got 75,000 people on your email list. Let me pay you. I'll pay you $1,000. Let me send an email to your list. And hopefully you make the money back of whatever you spent to be on that list. You can buy ads to be. There's a lot of different ways you can collaborate. If somebody has a conference or an event, you can say to them, look, let me come speak at your event. I'll speak at your event. You don't have to pay me, but whatever money, and I'm going to make a sale. I'm going to make an offer on stage at your event. And whatever I sell, you get half the money. All right. That's something that a couple of years ago, Grant Cardone had a conference. He invited Russell Brunson from ClickFunnels to speak at the conference. And Grant got a cut of everything that Russell sold. Russell made $3 million in 90 minutes. Literally $3 million in sales in 90 minutes. Half of that money went to Grant, half the money went to Russell. Everybody won. That's a collaboration. So what you need to do, the most important thing you need to collaborate, folks, is communication skills. Again, what am I doing right now? So everything I'm talking to y'all about, I do. I'm not telling y'all, these are not theories. Everything I'm talking to y'all about are things that I actively do. If you watch what I'm doing, now that I'm explaining it to you, you'll start noticing this. That you got to have very sharp communication skills to utilize collaboration. Meaning you got to be able to talk to another person, explain to them why working with you is beneficial for them. It's not about you, it's what do they get. So when I'm appearing on somebody else's podcast, is because I was able to communicate to them, look, your podcast is talking about ABC. What I talk about is related to ABC. So if I come on your podcast, your audience is going to get value because I'm talking about something that I know that your audience already wants. That's a communication skill. You got to be able to communicate that in a way that they understand it, and then they will open up their audience to you. So for example, that story I told y'all a few minutes ago, how somebody who was following me since 2016 and they just got into my program 2 weeks ago, they heard of me when I was on somebody else's podcast in 2016. How did I get on that person's podcast? That's the question you should be asking yourself. How did I get on that podcast? I got on that podcast because I know how to sell myself. Selling yourself is a communication skill. How can you tell another person how putting you in front of their audience is going to be helpful to them? Not to you, to them. Nobody cares what you want. They care what they want. This is a way of thinking, and then you got to have the skill to actually communicate this. So in my university, Work on Your Game University, I talk about communication skills in so many of my courses. In Work on Your Game System, Bulletproof Mindset, I got a course literally called Sell Yourself. I got a course called the Business Builder course that is going to be, I'm dropping a link to that tomorrow. Actually, I put the link on my story earlier today, but I'm sending an email out about that tomorrow for anybody who wants to get into that course. That's all part of my university. And anyone who works with me directly, communication is a big thing, especially you entrepreneurs and you solopreneurs and you thought leaders. Communication skills are everything. If you are short on communication skills, you're going to be short on money. That's the game these days. It's collaboration. You got to be able to communicate. People got to be able to understand your value and be clear on it. All right. So this is the second point. Continually identifying and communicating with people who are or will be willing to give you money. So 3 ways to do this. Advertising is when you pay money for attention. Collaboration is when you borrow other people's attention. And the third one is content. What I'm doing right now is content. I mean, it's collaboration and content. Because I'm collaborating with Instagram, and this is content. Because when this is done, I'm going to download this video, and I'm going to probably put it on YouTube. And for those people who are not watching live, they can watch it later. That becomes content. Everybody following what I'm saying here? Everybody catching everything that I'm saying? All right, the comments got quiet. So that either means I got y'all deep in thought, or I'm going over people's heads. Somebody let me know. Let me know if y'all picking up what I'm putting down right now. So again, advertising, collaboration, content. These are the 3 ways to market yourself. And marketing, by the way, everybody, is an ongoing job. It is more important than your products. All right, good stuff. Thank you, Topaz Johnson. All right, got it. Marketing is an ongoing job. It never ends. And this is something that I even remind myself of, because I'm a natural creator. I like creating things. But you need to spend more time and energy on marketing than creating. This will be helpful for a bunch of you. This could be career changing for a bunch of you if you actually do this. Spend more time marketing and selling your stuff than you do creating and perfecting your stuff. A good marketing campaign can sell a mediocre product. Any of you ever bought a mediocre product because you just saw a good advertisement or something about it? And then when you got it and you use it, you're like, this product's not even that good. It wasn't even worth the money. Any of you ever had that happen? We all have. Why? Because marketing. You need to sell and market your stuff. Now, how many different products does Apple sell? They ain't got that many. What does Apple sell? A phone, a computer, a tablet. And they got a few accessories, but they don't make most of their money off that. No, Apple makes most of their money off the phone, right? Phone, computer, tablet. That's it. Phone, computer, tablet. Diana, what's going on over there on Facebook? Appreciate you. They got 3 products, pretty much. Most of their money comes from these 3 products, and most of it comes from the phone. But guess what? They spend tens of thousands of dollars marketing that one product every day. Everybody catching? Everybody seeing what I'm saying here? And I talked about this at the top for those who came in the middle here. Clarity. You need to be very, very clear on how you are operating your business. Apple has extreme clarity. I don't work at Apple, but I'm explaining to you their business model. That's how clear it is. Your business model needs to be so clear that somebody who doesn't even work there can understand it. Apple sells 3 products. They spend $1 million a day advertising 3 products, and they make most of their money off one of them. Now, could Apple explain that to a room full of 10-year-olds? I think so. If I worked at Apple and I had to go to my kids' class and explain to 10-year-olds what we do, I'm going to bring 3 products. I'm going to bring the iPhone, I'm going to bring an iPad and a laptop, a MacBook Air. And I'm going to say, all right, here are the 3 products that we sell. We spend $1 million a day advertising these 3 products, and we make most of our money off this. Who has a question? And I'll let the 10-year-olds ask me questions. That's it. I just explained my whole business. You want to be able to explain your business that easily. Everybody got it? So a bunch of you have confused yourselves because you've taken in a lot of information from a lot of different people. And I get it. There's nothing wrong with taking in information. You just got to be able to parse the information and get the parts that are useful for you and throw away everything else. And this is what we do here at Work on Your Game, by the way. So those of you who are new here, who have never heard me talk before, this is what we do. We make things clear and simple, and we throw out all the garbage. All right, this is we call this filtering. We got to throw all the garbage away, and let's get down to the business of the most important things, the most essential things that we got to do. All right, so that's called marketing. It's a process for continually getting in front of your audience, not only the people who have never heard of you, but also people who already heard of you. Do not assume that they're going to keep buying from you just because they bought from you in the past. You got to keep reselling them on you and on your stuff. Number 3, that's the 3rd point, and we only got like 5 minutes left here, and I got to get on a call. Number 3 is a strategy and a system for giving your paying customers and clients more continual value so they can keep giving you money. Again, I kind of just talked about this. So this is what Apple does. Apple continually gives you value. So for example, all right, like I said, I got the iPhone 13. I'm probably not going to get the 14. I'll probably wait till the 15 comes out because this one is doing fine. I don't need a new phone. But what does Apple do? One of the things that Apple does when you go into settings of your iPhone, right, and you go to general and you got software update, now look at that. What is Apple doing? They updated the software. So iOS 16.3, I need to update and download and install new Apple software. What is that? They're giving me more value for the product that I already bought. You following me here? You want to continually give people value. Now, what if you don't make hardware? I don't make hardware. You don't make physical products. What do? Continually give people value. So when you come into my world, you come into my university, I'm always adding new trainings and courses inside of my university. If you are following me on social media, I'm always posting a new reel. I'm always doing a new live. I'm always putting up a new post. You get into my text community, I'm always sending out a new daily motivation message. I'm continually giving you value, even though you already know me. I don't assume just because you know me that I'm good with them, so I don't need to do anything with them. They'll just give me money whenever they feel like it. That doesn't happen. You got to stay in front of people and keep giving them value so that when it's time for you to make an offer or it's time for them to buy something, you're the first person that they think of. That's your job. This is what you got to be continually doing. Always giving more value to your audience. So any of you who is a paying customer, another pause connection there, you're a member of any kind of membership somewhere. The only reason you stay paying for that membership is because they're continually giving you more value. If they stop giving you value, you cancel the membership. That's how it goes. You got to keep giving people value. You got to stay in front of them. Even when people aren't giving you money yet, if they're following you, you got their attention. We're in the attention economy. You got to be able to get people's attention, and then you got to keep their attention. And everybody has different ways of doing it. For me, I know what my things are. I know mine is through writing and speaking. That's what I should be doing. I should be spending most of my time either writing things for people who like to read, because you see these books behind me. I'm a writer, or speaking, like what I'm doing right now. And speaking can be this right here. It can be me doing a reel. It can be me being on somebody's podcast. It can be me working with somebody on a coaching call. And I'm about to hop on a Zoom call in 4 minutes. I should be doing that because those are the things that I do best. That's how I best get my point across. Other people do it different ways. Apple does it through these devices, through these phones. You got to know what way you do it. And that's what you need to be doing. You need to spend most of your time doing the things that you're best at so you can continually give value where you are most valuable so that people can see you at your best. They can see you shining at your best and they'll be willing to give you money. All right, that's the business. And this is, you want to strategize and really plan out and strategize. How can I spend the majority of my time doing this? Because this is where the money's at for you. And everybody has different skills. So everybody's not going to do the same thing. All right. You might not be able to, you might not want to go do a live for an hour like I'm doing right now. That's not you. But what can you do? Where can you get value? And the people who you want to serve, where are they at and what do they want from you? That's the question that you have to answer. And when you know that, that's when you press on the gas and you start doing that. Not go get an LLC. All right, everybody follow what I'm saying here? All right, this is what you need to be doing to run your business. So let me recap and let me take questions. Anybody got a question, put it in the comment section. I got 3 minutes. I'm going to take a couple questions and then we'll wrap this up. And I'm going to be doing more lives more consistently. I had to get my, like I said, business builder course is going to be coming out tomorrow. So we got that all set up. And I had to finish the promotion for Work on Your Game Live, which that promotion's done because that event's taking place next week. So now I'm going full marketing mode. So y'all going to be seeing all the stuff that I'm telling y'all about. Y'all going to be seeing me do this. So when you're following somebody on social media, especially somebody who they know their business and they can explain it, if you really look in between the lines of what they're doing, you'll notice that they're doing the stuff that they're talking about. Now, not everybody is qualified, but so you got to be able to look through and see. But now that I've explained this stuff to you, you watch the stuff that I post and you see the stuff that I'm doing, and you'll see me doing the same things that I'm telling you about. So again, this is and even iPhone, giving you more examples with iPhone. Apple has the iPhone for Life program. Many of you on iPhone for Life, where you just pay a certain amount every month, and every time a new phone comes out, you get the new phone. What is that? That's continually giving you value. That's a membership. iPhone for Life is a membership. Amazon. Any of you got Amazon Prime? What is Amazon Prime? It's a membership. You keep paying and they keep giving you value. I guarantee you within the next 2 years, Nike's going to have some kind of membership. Guaranteed this is coming. Guaranteed. Google has memberships. I got Google Workspace. It's like cloud storage. We can store everything in the cloud. You pay for that every month. What is that? It's a continually giving value. You notice, again, I'm trying to help you all understand. I'm trying to help you all see business through a different lens. Because there's another level to business besides what you see on the surface. And this is where it's at. This is where the money's at. Y'all just got to understand this stuff. So Josh says, if I don't have an idea for a business, is a business builder course for me? Absolutely. The second module in that course, Josh, is about ideation. Ideas and execution. Second module is ideas and execution. So absolutely. Johnson says, this was gold. Thanks for this collaboration with Instagram. Appreciate you. Thank you. Co-ministry. Thank you. Appreciate you. All right, everybody's 11:29. I got to wrap this up in 1 second. About to hop on the Zoom call. But again, these 3 points. Number 1, you need customers and clients. Number 2, continually marketing. And number 3, continually giving value to your audience. Those are only 3 things you need to be in business and to stay in business. Customers, marketing, continue giving value. That's it. If you do that, you are in business. Everything else is a means to an end of one of these 3 things. Everything. So let's see. Topaz says, thank you. It's like the light bulb finally went off. I understand more now. I appreciate that. That's the goal. That's what we do here at Work on Your Game. We make the light bulbs go off. We make things very, very clear. That is the key word. If y'all take one thing from this live, take the word clarity. Everything is about clarity. Let me check Zoom because I got a Zoom call that's supposed to be starting now. And this person hops on, then I will hop on and get on the Zoom call. But until this person comes on, I will wait for y'all. I'll in the comment section, but this person comes on and I got to hop off immediately. I'm just waiting for them to come on. So Anthony says, this is a mindset course. The business builder, everything we do here at Work on Your Game has an element of mindset in it. All right, my Zoom call just hopped on, so I got to go. So answer to y'all question, Anthony, everything we do here at Work on Your Game has an element of mindset to it. Everything. Because if you're going to build a business, you need the mentality to do it. So we have 2 sections there talking about money mindset. 2 modules in that course are about money mindset. And that link is in my story. I posted it earlier today. So again, yes, there is an element of mindset. You join the entire university, workonyourgameuniversity.com. We got a bulletproof mindset course. We got the next mission course, the business builder course. We go deep in mindset here at Work on Your Game. That's the foundation of everything that we do to answer your question. So hopefully that answers your question. Any of you got any other questions that I didn't answer here, send me a DM on Instagram. I will reply to your DM. I'm going to do another live tomorrow. Everybody stay tuned. I appreciate you all's time and attention. Work on Your Game. We out of here.